Winter is just around the corner as you get a look at Bills Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
That's good.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. On 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He lets it fly for Lockett. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by the rookie, Jeff Okudah. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it. Because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half, I mean, that just didn't happen. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Touchdown. Vincent Smith. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Bills nothing.
McCann's got it teed up.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. From the gun, it's Tua. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Tua. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Looking to pass. Tua. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He lets it fly for Lockett. He's got it at the 15. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. 2nd quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
2 yards on the pickup.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And down he he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Ben Banagoo. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
55, Mike, 55.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know what they've always said? I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be
and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception picked by the rookie Jeff Okudah. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On first down, Wentz. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
And the Steelers first down.
Run for Pollard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
The ball carrier.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the Steelers are going to have a first and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Here's a run with Balaj. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Kalen Balaj in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And they will have a first down as they are definitely in field goal range now, down at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Give him 14 on the play. And the Bills will move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Tua, the final shot before half. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Pollard. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Wentz going to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Henry Ruggs with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. This will make it into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
On play action, here's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
On 2nd down, Swift. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
I can't believe they even let you play. Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Watch the twist.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're continuing to rock and roll. And in intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise?
That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 34. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The ball carrier.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
4th and goal at the 1-yard line.
Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Blankenship's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
At the 31-yard line.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quit in him.
0.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Tua once again here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. The 20. There he goes right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deron Payne. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's now third down.
The Bills on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, this game is all but over after that last 4th down stop. The only question left, will they play conservative and run the clock or try to pour some salt in the wound? Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
46-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Steeler first down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Again, he finds an opening. And finally marked down at the 23. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam, I think they worked in